Hello, welcome back to Ben Sushi Live Nodding. In this episode, I want to show you how you can control LED using number. So basically, there will be some math and logic involved. It's actually very basic, but I only figure it out myself how to do this in a way that I could understand. So here currently we have this setup. It's basically 10 LED lights in a row. They are all have random colors, and each one of them is using a single material, but each one of them also have a different custom vertex color. And I could control the random color simply by changing the seed value here. And this is the only setup that I have currently. Let me turn off notifications. So we have 10 LED. That's because I duplicated a box simply using object instancer and arrange it in a row. So we have 10 of them, and I can change it at any time into any number that I want. Keep it 10 for now. And then I arrange it in a row, and then this object goes inside the list, and for each one of the objects box, I'll give it a different random color. And they are kind of glowing because I have this multiplier over here that's using high value. Okay, so they're glowing and it's blooming, so it's nice. So let's find out how we can use logic to control this LED light. So I want to be able to turn this on and off, but not like manually one by one. I want to be able to do it procedurally. So my idea is to assign a number for each one of them and using some kind of logic. And once we assign a number, so we can assign, like, this is number 3, for example. If I say number 3, then number 3 should lit up. The rest of them should turn off. So this is how I do it. I will be using range integer. And I'll make it 10 because we have 10. So this is going to be a number to represent our instance, 0 until 9. So normally it's always start at 0, but you can always change that. And then we're going to use a loop for this number. So I will tap W and then loop through the list. So loop through the list of this number and compare it with the number that we assign, number that we request for it. So here I will create a new parameter, not iterator, but parameter, and I'll use integer. So this is the number. So whatever number showing here, it's gonna be the LED that's kind of lit. Okay, so we need to compare. There are actually two things. Oh, there is actually logic, Boolean list logic as well. But so this one, there's this logic operator A and B. This is how you can manipulate true and false and compare. But there's also another one, compare. This is the one we're gonna use. Compare A and B. So A is our original list of number, and B is the second number that we want to compare to. So if this number, so I'll just call it our number. So if number 2, then it should lit up. So I basically want to turn this list into list of booleans, true or false. So I'll be using boolean list. It's gonna be the output of our loop. So we don't need to think about this loop anymore. It's just gonna compare. And as a result, we're gonna have boolean list, true or false. Okay. So whenever it's true, then our light will lit up. So we have our logic done. And so we can just pass it into this loop. So we're gonna create Boolean list and simply plug this Boolean list over there, and this output goes into the value. So now we have control over our LED. So file, save as, gonna save it as number 6. So whichever LED we specify is gonna turn on by itself. Would be nice if it's a kind of looping. For example, you can do a lot of things here. With the logic itself, we could, for example, here we can specify. So if we change the expression over here, if A is larger than B, for example, so everything on the right will lit up. So that's a different kind of logic, and another one. So you can set it up this way. So this can become like a kind of a visualization for audio, for example. We can do that. And of course, if we keep it A equal B, we can also use like random number, for example. And we can randomize the LED like that. So I think it's pretty cool. It's very basic, simple, but it works. Oh, if we turn it into cycles, it stopped working somehow. There might be, we can bake it and then let cycles render the animation. But we could use this setup to have my other setup with MIDI. So I can use MIDI to turn on lights on and off. So that's the basic idea. And let's save this once again. A different setup. Actually, we could have this comparison a little bit more clever. Let's say we want only light number, the one that's odd to lit up, or things like that, or the one that's even number to lit up. We can think about that. You can also make it like maybe like a sine wave. So currently I have frame number controlling the LED, right? I can also change it into sine wave, for example, and then remap the range from -1 to 1 to 0 to 9, something like that. 0 to 10. Okay, so this so it's kind of doing that, even though it's not 100% correct. We actually need some kind of linear value, so the value will do like a proper ping pong. Currently it's just kind of jumping, but there are different math formula for that to generate that kind of wave. Snap, ceiling, floor, modulo actually in this case it won't do the job. Yeah, modulo is just, modulo actually can cycle the light like that. That's because if we look at the result of modulo, if we use modulo of 10, you see how it goes from 0, and then when it's reached 9, it goes back to 0. That's because of the modulo. It gives you the reminder. So there's a lot of things you can learn simply by using this setup. And you can always bake it up, bake the animations, and then export it, and then use it for something else. So you can, for example, instead of just controlling the LED light, you can control the scale of the box. And there's a lot of things you can do with it, and with just simple understanding of logic, true and false. All right, so hopefully this is useful. It's very basic, simple, but hopefully you understand this and can do a little bit more. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.